Hi there. Now we're going to read lesson 185. I want the peace of God. What a powerful declaration. Paragraph 1. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. I want the peace of God. I am accepting that it is there. Period. Now you cannot let your ego thoughts come in, because then if you let your ego thoughts come in, then you wanted the ego thoughts. You didn't really want the peace of God. And that's part of the getting honest with ourselves. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. This is what we get when we say we want the peace of God. Everything comes back to us, because wanting the peace of God means that we are giving up the veil of illusion that blocks us from knowing that as our truth. Paragraph 2. No one can mean these words and not be healed. Again, this is where healing comes in, because you're going to the source of the healing, the well-being that was already given. And once you want that, you're accepting your truth for yourself. You are choosing no longer to block it, which then activates the sickness or the experience of it. Sentence number 2 in paragraph 2. He cannot play with dreams nor think he is himself a dream. I had to give up that illusion. I had to give up pretending that I'm separate, pretending that I can be hurt. Yes, the thoughts of that happens to me, they come into my mind. But I forgive myself and I release them and move myself back into the truth of I only want the peace of God. And for me to have all of that, have God restored to my awareness, I have got to give up all thoughts that are not His. He cannot make a hell and think it real. No, because if I make hell, I know it's me creating the suffering and I'm just using the power God gave me. So why use the power God gave me to create hell when I can have the heaven, which is the peace of God, just by my wanting it. Sentence number 4, he wants the peace of God and it is given him. For that is all he wants, that's all I want. And that is all he will receive. God cannot give you hell, because God only created heaven. God only created peace. And if all you want is what God created, you're not going to have contradiction. You're not going to have anything that opposes your joy. Sentence number 6. Many have said these words. I said them many times, but few indeed have meant them. I didn't mean them all the time. I would say I wanted the peace of God, and then I'd go off and judge somebody. I would say I wanted the peace of God, and then I would entertain fear in my mind. I would say I wanted the peace of God, and then I would look at my checkbook and go berserk. Well, I clearly did not want the peace of God in that moment. I wanted the drama of my ego, the fear, the judgment, the whatever it was. So if it's a thought in your mind, that's a thought you want. So we got to get really clear that few indeed have meant these words, even though many say them. I want the peace of God. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. Oh my gosh, the world suffering. I've been teaching for 13, 14 years now. I have clients that I've worked with for years. They all want the peace of God. They all want happiness. They all want more joy. But in our coaching calls, in our classes, they tell me about the fears that they were in. They point at the issues that they have. The husband did this, the child did that, the bank did this. Look at my, the bills came in, I don't have the money. They tell me about all of the things out there that have power over them, even though I know they want the peace of God, but they still entertain the thoughts of the ego. I did the same. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. So when we are with another person and we say, stop, I don't want to hear that, your thoughts about what you cannot do. Tell me what you can do. Tell me what brings you joy. Tell me what allows you to be defenseless. Then we're inviting each other into speaking truth. Then we're really talking about what it is that we want, if it is indeed that we want the peace of God. Paragraph 3. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. Where two or more are gathered, there is love. If we connect in truth, my goodness, what we can create is powerful, powerful. And it really truly is amazing what can happen when you decide to come into holy relationship and commit to only seeing the best in each other, which is what I did with my son. With Spencer, we committed to seeing the best in each other. We helped each other. He would call me out when I was not only wanting the peace of God, and I get a little fearful. Oh, Mom, you're not walking your talk today. I see that you're choosing to be afraid. How about you stop being afraid? And let me be the one afraid. It was pretty fascinating. For minds can only join in truth. When we commit to supporting each other, we join. When we don't join in truth, we go apart. Ken did not want to join in truth that we could choose only love. To him, you can't choose between love and fear. So when he had fearful thoughts, he went off in one direction. And with my loving thoughts, I was in a different direction. And I had to accept that. But minds that join in truth, they come together. They want to support each other. It's enjoyable to be with each other. They're vibrating at a high frequency that is fun and easy and enjoyable. Sentence number 3, in dreams, no two can share the same intent. It's not possible because in dreams we have secrets. We're protecting ourselves. We're attacking, defending, judging. We're in fear. We don't share what those things really are. So nobody really knows where they are. So everybody's kind of secretive and protective. It's impossible to join. Sentence number 4, to each, the hero of the dream is different. The outcome wanted not the same for both. So what happens is if you got somebody who's afraid, let's say two friends. Well, let's say in the case of Ken and I, two people who are afraid that he's going to be hurt if I cheat on him. And I'm afraid that if he thinks I'm cheating on him, he's going to cut me off financially and I'm not going to have enough money. And I'm afraid of not having enough money. And he's afraid that I'm going to cheat on him. And we're not talking about that because we're not admitting our fears. We don't know the cancer that is destroying our relationship because we're not talking about what we're defending. But then on the other hand, if we were to both align to love and connect and what is it that is going to take to bring us together, those minds join because you don't want to hold secret where you want to go together. You don't want to hold secret when you're moving towards love, towards peace, towards cooperation. Only perceived enemies have secrets from each other. Countries are secretive when they're attacking each other. But when they want to collaborate and cooperate, they're not secretive. They have to communicate because they have to create one goal to move toward. Losers and gainer merely shift about in changing patterns as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on a different aspect or another form. When you're operating in this win-lose game, it's so many secrets because you're defending, protecting yourself. That was the last sentence in paragraph 3. Paragraph 4. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. Yeah, you could compromise. Sometimes it takes the form of union, but only the form where we appear to come together. Let's talk about this. Come to a meeting and everybody's going to talk about how we're going to work something. But in the back of your mind, if you're holding secrets, it's not going to work. The meaning must escape the dream, for compromising is the goal of dreaming. Compromising is something egos do. Minds cannot unite in dreams. They merely bargain. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? If you're bargaining, I'll give this much, but not that much, because I've got my ideas of what I want to win. God's not there. Illusions come to take his place. And what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. Paragraph 5. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. For no one means these words who wants illusions, and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the others. Dreams are one to him. To be pretending, protecting, attempting to do things secretively, who wants that? Even if it smells a little better or looks a little better, it's not satisfying. You want the peace of God, but everybody has to want that too and understand what it means. And he has learned their only difference is one of form, for one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. Sure, you can change your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, and get somebody who will appear to think more like you, but if they've got their own fears, they got their own secrets, it may change a little bit. You may compromise with some partners that you don't with others, with some bosses or employees or neighbors that you do with some and not others, but it's not the peace of God, because they are still a part of you that is wanting to win and them lose, or vice versa. So it's the same despair and the same misery as all the rest. Paragraph 6. The mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. I had to let Spencer know, sweetie, I'm giving up worrying about you. I'm going to give up fearing, because I'm trusting that God has you. I want the peace of God for me. So he received my lack of trying to force him into do something, because he could feel my peace. I was being sincere. There was transparency. He knew it. And from that place, he began to go, wow, I could have that for myself too. And it wasn't too long after that that he was able to then eventually give up drugs. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind that seeks for it in honesty can understand. So in my mind, I knew, because of the work that I had done, the age that I had, the maturity, what my work had to look like. And for Spencer, in his genuine desire for peace, it looked a certain way at his age, with people that he could connect with, that books that he was reading. So we both went about doing things differently, but we both came to a place of finding inner peace, because we were both genuine and sincere. And we were met by the Holy Spirit in ways that we could each understand. Sentence number 3. So whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. Yes, the Holy Spirit meets us where we are. There's a different plan for each and every one of us. That's why I don't know what's better for you, and you don't know what's better for me, because the Holy Spirit will take care of that. It is not our job to do that for one another. But if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. That sincerity is powerful. You got to mean it and be committed to doing the work that is necessary to receive it. Paragraph 7. Let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. How amazing is that, to really mean the words we're saying? We want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise, nor try to make another bargain in the hope that there may yet be one that can succeed where all the rest have failed. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams, which seem to change in what they offer but are one in nothingness. I no longer wanted Ken to compromise and say, yeah, he loved me and he was going to work on things, and then the next day listen to his ego and bash me again. I was tired of that. I was like, you know what, sweetie? You are where you are. You're going to believe what you want to believe. I only want the peace of God, so you be happy. I'm happy. And just let things become what they will be. But I am really clear that him going down that path helped me go on my path. So it was a beautiful, powerful lesson for me to trust that my lessons in finding my peace that I could then experience with Spencer were coming to me through the lessons I was experiencing with Ken. Ken was teaching me things that were necessary for me to be that for Spencer. For me to be a witness of the peace that I was finding was necessary for me to be between these two men that I adored at a time that both of them were teaching me. They were giving me opportunities to practice things. Absolutely powerful, because the Holy Spirit was using both of them to teach me. And I came to peace with that. I trusted that. Paragraph 8. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind. We're always working with the mind, aren't we? We're never asked to look at our toes or play with our fingers or check on our kidneys, always with the thoughts in our mind, feelings, emotions that are getting activated, and then go look at the thought that was present. So we're going to search our mind to find the dreams you cherish still. What you cherish, where you think you're going to find safety, what you think is going to make you whole, who you need to control, how much money do you need to feel safe. Those are the dreams that we cherish. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you see in making your requests. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? I want a husband to keep me safe. Is this what I would want in place of the heaven and the peace that I can get from God? I want more money in my checking account so I can be safe, so I can feel secure. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? I need my son not to do drugs. Does that need for control give me peace and the heaven that I want that comes from God? I want my husband to stop attacking me. Can that replace a peace and the heaven that will come to you if you trust God? No, we got to get sincere. No, they won't. Paragraph 9. This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace, or you have asked for dreams. And dreams will come as you request them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly and to remain with you forever. See, that's the thing that really I cannot stress enough. When you really truly want the peace of God and are sincere and you'll do whatever it takes to remove the thoughts of the ego, that peace stays with you. It just is part of my every day, every moment. I feel that peace, and others can feel me very peaceful in the midst of whatever stuff might be happening that others might feel stressed out or uncomfortable. Does not affect me. Why? Because I made the decision. I'm really sincere. I'm one of those few that made that commitment, but I know if I can do it, anybody can. And what happens is in that quietness, in the stillness, I can hear inspiration. I can hear guidance. If I need the money to pay the bills, the ideas flow for the work that I do, the coaching that I do, the where should I do an event. Ideas, inspirations flow to me, but I trust that God takes care of me. It's such a beautiful thing to be in this place of total and complete trust. Sentence number 7 in paragraph 9. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road, to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. No, that peace does not change. It is consistent, and you always feel it deep within. You feel this calm, you feel this serenity always, and you feel the tranquility of the mind that is quiet, and you can feel the inspiration that moves through you. It's a movement of energy that happens when you align with God, because you have chosen that you want the peace of God only and not the hell of the ego. Paragraph 10. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. Yeah, everybody wants it, but not everybody's willing to do it. For them as well as for yourself you ask, but this, when you make this request with deep sincerity, I wanted the peace of God for Ken. I still want that for him. All these years later, I still want him to find the peace of God because it's in him. I wanted that for my son. I want that for the president of this country. I want that for every living being to experience the peace of God, because it's the truth of who we are. Because when we feel that, guess who benefits from that too? Me. We'll have a world more full of cooperation and collaboration. Of course, I want everybody to feel the peace of God. And I make that request with deep sincerity. For thus, you reach to what they really want and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. I wanted my son to have the peace of God, even while he was throwing his tantrums and angry or high. I wanted it with sincerity because I was feeling it, and I wanted him to have that. So beautiful. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your excuse me, let me find the right page. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your purpose and unsure of what you wanted where to look for it and where to turn for help in the attempt. I get that. Many times I wanted the peace, but I didn't know where to go. I was unsure. The ego thoughts kicked in. Help has been given you. And would you not avail yourself of it by sharing it, giving it, and, receiving and giving are one. I got to give it to have it. So when I want a peace, I had to be at peace with what Spencer was doing. I had to be at peace with what Ken was doing. And in that moment, I was wishing that for them, because in a mind, in a heart that was at peace, I couldn't be wanting ill for them. I couldn't be judging Ken when I was feeling peace and extending that love to him. Paragraph 11. No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it. It's a promise. For he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. You see, to have the peace of God means that I had to turn off the voice of my ego. Peace doesn't come to you. Peace is what you allow yourself to feel that is already in you when you stop blocking it with your thoughts. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? I was only feeling what was always in there. Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? How do I feel peace? Be at peace with you. Don't judge you. That's how I feel the peace. The peace of God is yours. Paragraph 12. For you was peace created, given you by its creator and established as his own eternal gift. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? You cannot fail. And how could your request be limited to you alone? It extends to everybody because everybody has peace in them. When you find your peace, you become the change you want to see in the world. And Spencer saw that peace and wanted that. Ken saw that peace, but he wasn't ready for it. At least not then. I don't know about now. But my work was to know that the only way that I could have peace was to extend it to him, and that means I couldn't be judging him. I had to see him through the eyes of peace so that peace in me could be felt and experienced. No gift of God can be unshared. It is this attribute that sets the gifts of God apart from every dream that ever seemed to take the place of truth. Because once you feel it, you give it. You have to give it to keep it. You got to be kind and loving to keep feeling kindness and lovingness. You have to give it to keep it. This is how the gift of God gets extended. It's shared. Paragraph 13, no one can lose and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. To take away is meaningless to him, and when it is as meaningless to you, you can be sure you share one will with him and he with you. I wanted my son to feel my peace, so I extended it. I wanted him to feel peace around me. That's how I shared it with him. No more attacking, no more telling him what to do. Same with Ken. Spencer was willing to receive it. Ken, not so much. It is what it is. I got to feel that I could be it no matter what. That changed me. And you will also know you share one will with all your brothers whose intent is yours. They all want the same peace. They just couldn't stop the thoughts in their head from letting themselves receive the peace that was already in them. But I became a model of how that's possible. One received it, one didn't. That's none of my business. Paragraph 14. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. We have the ego that has created all of these ideas that we're apart, that we're separate, that we're different, that we shouldn't connect, all of those things. Once we let go of those beliefs, all that is left is our unity. All that is left is our oneness. Why? Because we are pure consciousness and we are one. These bodies appear to separate us, but the air that is between us is the same energy that these bodies are made of. When you stop focusing on this, we automatically unite. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? No, you cannot fail. You cannot fail to find what is already in you. It took me years to come to this place, but if I can do it, so can you. I am nothing special. I am no brilliant person. I don't have all kinds of degrees to my name. I'm a mom. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I was a wife. I'm still a lover. I'm still a partner. I'm a friend. I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. But most of all, I'm the child of God, and so are you. And what was given to me was given to you. I have claimed it for myself, practiced it over and over and over again, and let it become my truth. Let it become my reality. That's the only difference. I worked really hard, diligently, to receive the truth that has been true always. If I can do it, I promise you, so can you. But you gotta be willing to let go of your righteousness. You gotta be willing to be wrong, that your way can yield something better than the peace of God that is already in you can. That's it. Again, if I can do it, so can you. Because you are a powerful child of the same Creator that created both of us. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.